Hello, and welcome back to the Fallen Flag Foamers review series.
If you haven't heard anything about this review series yet, this is the Hesston's Goodies video. Hesston's is a local railway museum that happens near our remote area. Every day every
Labor Day weekend for the Steam and Power Show,
a bunch of people gather around in tents to sell stuff. One time we went there in 2021 and we found this guy,
Earl Stepney.
We were surprised because we've never owned an Ertl train before. So we bought him. And now we have Ertl Stepney. Then the next year in 2022, we bought Ertl James. Hello! And the next year, we got even more crazy and bought Daisy and Mavis. There's obviously other items we purchased, but they've been shown in the other goodie video. But it is now 2024, and it's now time to break in to our new stuff.
Okay, so now it's time to talk about the review segment. I'm going to go ahead and review each of the models, and since these guys aren't powered, I'm going to talk about mainly detail only. So starting off with Ertl Stepney here, which is a great representation of the 1960s era Ertl Stepney. Ours is not in the greatest of shape, but we love him nonetheless. As you can see on the bottom there, it says Britt Allcroft Limited 1997. I love his face too. He's an Ertl, so obviously he's awesome. Next up is James, who we bought up the 2022 Hesston show. I love Ertl James. I will admit his foot plate is thick for some reason. His dome is chipped, and he's not in the greatest condition, just like Stepney. But he is definitely a good condition James. On the bottom, this guy is Ertl, dated, dated 1999. So this is one of the Season 5 Magic Railroad-esque models. Next up, at the 2023 Steam and Power Show, we have Mavis. Mavis is a pretty decent model. I really like the glossy coat they gave her. Ours is, again, not a great condition model. I don't understand why they have that black line there. Is that in the show? And even if it is, I'd prefer if they didn't have it on the model. I don't really like Mavis's face. It's not all too accurate. But overall, this is a pretty good model. Wait, why did they paint this bottom part red? That seems kind of random. Anyways, this model is dated 1999. Next, we have Ertl Daisy. And I have to say, Ertl Daisy is the worst model Ertl has ever produced, maybe short of Bluebell. Like, look how low she rides. Like, she's not even on track right now, and her buffers are rubbing up against the floor. Like, that's just bad design. I don't know what Ertl was thinking when they produced her. Again, ours is not in the greatest shape, and I normally wouldn't have bought Daisy, but Trenton convinced me to. I do like her face, though. I'll give the model credit for that. I like how it's not just Boko's face repurposed, like in the show. You know, back when the toys didn't try to cut corners. Anyways, this model is dated 1993, so it would have been made around the time Season 4 was coming out. Next up, we have Harold. We got this guy also at the 2023 Steam and Power Show. But this guy is actually not Ertl. He's a take-along, 2012 Mattel, take-and-play model, actually. He's got that darn nose chip, and overall isn't in great condition, but this is the best Harold model we own, so I use it in pretty much every video I feature Harold in, pretty much. As you can see, he's got these bands on his propellers, but that's pretty standard for like every Harold model. And now on to the new things. Starting off with this. I'm probably not going to be able to get much of it in frame, but this is it. But this is Fallen Flags in the 90s, a DVD produced by Green Frog Video. When Green Frog Video, especially on the cover here, when they say leader in railroad entertainment, they mean it. Every single shot and every DVD they produce is a banger. I'd never actually watched this DVD, but because I just bought it, but I have no doubt it'll be good. It's even got the Conrail OCS train and Wisconsin Central FP45s in it. So expect to see some shots ripped from this uploaded eventually. Next up, we get to the wooden railway models, starting with Diesel 10. This is a 2001 Thomas and the Magic Railroad edition Diesel 10. As you can see, his sliding pinchy claw is still functional. I really love how Wooden Railway tackled Diesel 10, especially with that devilish expression. And it doesn't even have a chip on the nose like most Diesel 10s do. I don't know much to say about him. He's a good model. I don't know why they made this top part plastic, though. That could have easily been wood. But I do like the outstretching Pinchy. Much better than the Brio Diesel 10. We don't talk about the Brio Diesel 10. And next up, we have Do It Right himself, Fergus. This is the earlier edition of Fergus that has the red fillings on the wheels. According to his wheels, this is a 2003 Fergus. So it was made the same year that Season 7 came out, which is when Fergus debuted. This is a first edition Fergus. I never really liked the face they gave Fergus, but I do love the detail on him. He looks a lot like the real Blue Circle. Not to mention, the turning flywheel is always an awesome touch. You can turn the flywheel, and it'll actually make him move. I also think Fergus is the only engine where the bottom part here isn't black. So, just another interesting thing about him. And next up, we get back into Ertls. With Ertl Thomas. Come on, it can't be an Ertl collection without a Thomas, right? I like Ertl Thomas, and I especially like how long he is. He looks a lot like an E2 because of it. Ours is not in great shape, and as you can see, the running board is literally warping. So I would like to get a better Ertl Thomas at some point, but this guy will suffice for now. I really do like the face they gave Ertl Thomas. This is a 1986 one, so it was made during Season 2, and fittingly, it's got wonky eyes. It doesn't show up on camera, but the sticker here is actually faded and is more like green in person. It doesn't show up on camera, as I said, but it's green in person, so that's kind of annoying. I would like to replace this guy with another better condition Ertl Thomas at some point, but he'll do for now. And the best Ertl that they ever made, short of Lord Harry, in my opinion, the goat himself, Coldy, number 4 from the Coldy Fair Railway. This guy's a Books exclusive character, and I'm still shocked they made him. This guy is a 1996 Coldy. Great face, epic, hilarious derp face on the back there. And I love all the detail they gave him. I don't know why he's so big, but that's just something they did with all the narrow gauge engines. He's really chunky. He's like a giant brick. Like, watch what happens when you drop him. He's so heavy. I love that. This guy's a solid metal brick. If you threw this guy at someone, you could poke their eye out. Also, purple's my favorite color, so he gets props for that. And now, the crown jewel of the stuff we got, and probably the best bargain we've ever gotten at Hesston's. Drum roll, please. Wooden Railway Neil.
In near mint condition.
This guy is rare and sought after and pretty expensive. According to the wheels here, this guy is a 2001 edition of Neil. So the latest, I believe this was the latest Neil model ever made. It still baffles me that they even made Neil. I mean, he's not accurate in any way, but it still baffles me that he was even made. This guy cost $18 at Hesston's, which is a steal for a near mint condition Neil. Normally these guys set you back $50 to $80. I'm so glad we got him. And no, he won't be appearing in Wooden Beans memes. We will literally be keeping this guy in a box or on a shelf for all of eternity because he's way too rare and in good condition to even risk putting him in Wooden Beans memes.
He's our white-faced troublesome truck.
We're never going to get a white-faced troublesome truck.
Yeah, but he's basically like ours.
Pretty much. Even though he's not actually that rare. I will admit, the model sucks, but I'm just glad to have owned him. I'm just glad to be in possession of one. I love Neil as a character, too, so I'm so glad to have him. One day I will get my hands on Ertl Neil, but I really don't want to pay the absurd prices for him, especially a good condition one. And that was our review for the 2024 items we got at Hesston's. And, you know, the ones we got previous years because we didn't make a proper review on those. And with that, this is Fallen Flag Foamer signing off, and I hope to see you again in the next episode of this honestly pretty cringe review series.